Alright, so here in this video, we're going to look at methane. Alright, so the chemical formula for methane is CH4. CH4. Alright, methane is the first and the simplest member of the alkane series. It is the first and the simplest member of what the alkane series. Alright, and methane is a saturated hydrocarbon. Why is it a saturated hydrocarbon? It is a saturated hydrocarbon because it is made up of only single bonds. So this is the structure of methane. Methane is like this. Alright, it is CH4, right? So the structure is like this. This is methane, made up of 4 hydrogen and 1 carbon. So it is a saturated hydrocarbon because it contains only single bond. It is a hydrocarbon because it is a compound of carbon and what? Hydrogen. So you have only hydrogen and carbon here. Alright. So again, the chemical formula for methane is CH4. It is the first and the simplest member of the alkane series, and it is a saturated hydrocarbon. Alright. So next, we're going to look at the laboratory preparation of methane. How is methane prepared in the laboratory? Alright. So in the laboratory, methane is prepared by the reaction of sodium ethanoate with what? Soda lime. It is prepared by the reaction of sodium ethanoate and soda lime. So soda lime is a mixture of sodium hydroxide and calcium hydroxide. So this soda lime is a mixture, alright, a mixture of sodium hydroxide and calcium oxide. So this is a chemical equation that represents the preparation of methane. When sodium ethanoate, this is sodium ethanoate, right? When sodium ethanoate reacts with soda lime, the reactive agent in this mixture is what? Is sodium hydroxide. Alright, but there is a reason why the soda lime is used, which is the mixture of sodium hydroxide and calcium oxide, and we'll look at that later. So when sodium ethanoate reacts with soda lime, methane is produced. This is methane, right? CH4, methane is produced, and sodium triiodocarbonate 4. So this is a setup for the laboratory preparation of methane. This is a mixture of sodium ethanoate and soda lime. So when you mix sodium ethanoate and soda lime together and then heat it, methane will be produced. So that methane will pass through here, and it will be collected over water, and the methane will go up. Alright, so methane is produced here. So this is the methane that is produced. So it's very important that you should know that the methane is collected over water and it moves up, alright? It is collected by downward displacement of air. And the reason for that is because methane is lighter than what? Than air. That is why methane goes up. Alright? So why is methane collected over water? What is the reason why methane? You can see this water here, right? So methane is collected over water. What is the reason? So why methane is collected over water is because methane is highly inflammable. What that means is that methane can easily catch fire. It can easily burn in air. Alright? So methane is highly inflammable and can form explosive mixture with air. Again, the reason why methane is collected over water is because methane is highly inflammable. That is, it can burn easily in air and can form explosive mixture with air. That is why it is collected over water. So the water is acting as a cooling agent to cool methane, to cool it down. Alright. So again, in the laboratory, methane is prepared by the reaction of sodium ethanoate with soda lime. So this is very important, and you must know this equation. Soda lime is a mixture of sodium hydroxide and calcium oxide. Alright, so this is sodium ethanoate. When it reacts with sodium hydroxide, it will give you methane and what? Sodium triiodocarbonate 4. So again, this is a laboratory setup for the preparation of methane. So when a mixture of sodium ethanoate and soda lime is heated, methane is produced, and that methane is collected over water. Alright, and the methane is collected by downward displacement of air. That is, the methane goes up. The reason why methane is collected by downward displacement of air is because methane is lighter than air. That is why it goes up. All right. Then the reason why methane is collected over water, the reason why methane is collected over water is because methane is highly what? Inflammable and can form explosive mixture with air. So this is very important. All right. Then another thing that you should note here is the reason why soda lime is used in preference to caustic soda. All right. So in the laboratory preparation of methane, methane is prepared by the reaction of uh, sodium ethanoate. This is sodium ethanoate. All right. This is sodium ethanoate plus what? Sodium hydroxide. And that will give you methane. All right. CH4. Methane and sodium triazocarbonate 4. All right. So when sodium ethanoate reacts with sodium hydroxide, methane is produced and sodium triazocarbonate 4. But in the reaction, we don't use caustic soda. All right. We don't use sodium hydroxide, also known as caustic soda. What we use is what? Soda lime. So why is soda lime used in preference to caustic soda in the preparation of what? Methane. So the reason for soda lime instead of caustic soda is because soda lime, which is this substance, a mixture of soda lime, soda lime is a mixture of what? Is a mixture of sodium hydroxide and calcium oxide. So the reason why soda lime is used instead of sodium hydroxide is because soda lime is not deliquescent. A deliquescent substance is a substance that will absorb water from the surrounding environment. So the reason why soda lime is used is because soda lime is not deliquescent and soda lime does not attack glass. All right. Sodium hydroxide is a deliquescent substance and it will attack glass. So the reason why soda lime is used is because it is not deliquescent and it does not attack glass. So the reason why the soda lime is used here is because it is not deliquescent. It will not absorb water from the surrounding environment and it does not attack the glass. This is a glass vessel. It does not attack the glass. All right. That is why soda lime is used instead of what? Sodium hydroxide. Another thing that you should note here is that the common name for sodium hydroxide is what? Is caustic what? Soda. That is the common name. Then the common name for calcium oxide is what? Is quicklime. All right. So sodium hydroxide is called what? Caustic soda. Calcium oxide is also known as what? Quicklime. So these are two things that you should know. All right. So next, we're going to look at the physical properties of methane.